It is so hot right now. It's humid, sticky. You know it's bad when your lips are sweating. So I think this week we're gonna focus on non-cooking cooking. Some salads, maybe a raw dish of some kind. I think that would be nice. Get away from this window. Nothing but hot air blowing at me. Now, when I say non-cooking cooking, I don't mean whipping up a couple of PB&Js and calling it a day. Not that there's anything wrong with PB&Js, they're just lacking in the creativity department. Our food today is going to be super nuanced, super flavorful, and require little to no heat. That's why on this episode of As You Eat It, we'll be making a spinach salad with nectarines and almonds, a nice riff on gazpacho, a really nice salmon ceviche, and for dessert, because there's always dessert, we'll be making a challah summer berry pudding. As always, we're going to start with dessert first. So let's get to work on that summer berry pudding with a very special ingredient my friend Chef Dan gave me. Challah! Gather up your mise en place for the summer berry filling for the summer berry pudding. We're going to use a quart of mixed berries, so strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries, and a half a cup of granulated sugar goes into that bowl, followed by a pinch of kosher salt to draw out the moisture and enhance the flavor. Just a touch of pepper. We don't want it to read super savory, but with just enough that it's in there. Same with the thyme. And about a teaspoon of vanilla extract to round out those flavors and give that desserty kind of flavor to it. Stir to combine and dissolve all the sugar, wrap in plastic and chill until we're ready to assemble the pudding. Take our lovely challah loaf and cut the ends off before slicing into half-inch pieces. Then we're going to coat both sides of the bread with lemon curd. Traditionally, butter is used, but this will provide a nice citrusy flavor and a nice richness too. After all, butter is a key ingredient in lemon curd. Very nice. Once both sides of the first piece are done, do the rest of the loaf. Now it's time to assemble. First, take a spring-form pan and line it with plastic. It's going to make the cleanup process and the unmolding process a lot easier. Place a layer of bread in the bottom. If you need to tear pieces apart and make a more stable bottom, that's okay, go for it. Add your first layer of the berry mixture, another layer of bread, tearing and patching where you need to, another layer of berries, very nice, and our top layer of bread. Okay, now we're ready to put the squeeze on this thing. Summer berry pudding requires pressure in order to make the dessert come together. So we're going to wrap it with the plastic wrap, but we need a weight to put on top of it. Here's what we're going to use. A little Corningware plate and a couple cans of beans. The longer it sets, the better it gets in your fridge. Just let that weight do its job. Now that the berry pudding's in the fridge, time to make the gazpacho. Cut the ends off of 5 plum tomatoes and cut them in half, as well as 1 yellow tomato. Will give a nice color variance, turning it kind of orangey. Next up, half a seedless cucumber, peeled so it doesn't affect the color. Using our Y peeler there. Cut that in half, and then cut the halves in half. Very nice. And then we're going to use half of this yellow onion. Leave the root end intact so you don't cry, roughly chopped. Next up, some piquillo peppers, 5 in total. Those are Spanish roasted red peppers, and it'll give a nice little sweetness and depth. Transfer these ingredients, starting with the tomatoes, to your blender jar, followed by the onions, piquillos, and cucumber. And for additional added sweetness, about a cup of seedless watermelon. Pinch of salt to bring the ingredients together, and some pepper to taste, before going in with our vinegar. We're using a traditional Spanish sherry vinegar. You can certainly use Pedro Jimenez if you like, about a 1/4 cup or so, and a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Let's work this a little bit to start the process before adding in some bread for texture. It's the guts of 2 pieces of challah bread. Give it a buzz. Once it reaches the texture you like, give it a taste and see where we are. Does it need more salt? Nah, we're good. Transfer to a container of your choice and chill. Next up, salmon ceviche. Take 1 pound of skinned salmon fillet, removed of excess pin bones, and cut into bite-sized pieces. Then add the juice of 5 lemons directly on top of the fish, using a fine mesh strainer to catch all the seeds. Then add in a 1/4 cup of kosher salt, put the lid on, and shake to combine. Refrigerate until it's as done as you like it. For me, it's about 4 hours. While we're waiting for the acid to denature the proteins of the fish and cook it, let's prepare the rest of the ingredients for our ceviche. 1 large or 2 medium scallions, roughly chopped, 2 medium radishes, roughly chopped using our plank, stick, and cube technique. Very nice. Then 1 large jalapeno, cut down the middle with our bear claw, and then remove all of the seeds, and if you can get all the membrane too, if not, that's okay. Then smash it down, and roughly julienne to start, before finely chopping. Just in case you didn't get all that membrane, it won't blow anybody's head off when they take a bite. Next, take 1/4 of a bunch of flat leaf parsley, roll it up into a cigar, stems and all, and roughly chop. Not quite a chiffonade, but it'll do. Transfer the ingredients to the work bowl along with your drained salmon before putting the finishing touches on there in the form of some spice with some chili piquin. I'm going heavy on there, but you can certainly use cayenne pepper if you don't have chili piquin. And about a teaspoon of sesame oil. Stir to combine. Wrap in plastic wrap, and then refrigerate until ready to serve. All right, now that the major prep's out of the way, I gotta get ready to go to work. You know the best thing about these non-cooking meals, guys, is that they're setting up while I'm at work, so that when I get home, they'll be ready. And the most strenuous thing I'm gonna have to do is toss salad. I'm okay with that, especially after a long day. And trust me, it's been a really long day today. It's almost dinner time, but first the salad course. We'll start with the vinaigrette so that way it has a little time to develop its flavor. First things first, in our little mini blender jar, we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of the sherry vinegar and a secret ingredient, pepperoncini brine. I finished the pepperoncini the other day and I saved the brine because it gives that vinegary, salty punch. About equal parts to the vinegar. Then a little pimentone picante, or hot smoked paprika, about a teaspoon. Pinch of kosher salt. Some pepper medley to taste there. I'm going a little heavy on there because I want a little spice. And another secret ingredient, orange marmalade with stem ginger in there. About a teaspoon or so, if it'll ever get off the spoon. And now, about 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, extra virgin of course. Screw the lid on there and give it a little shake to get the emulsification started and buzz it on up. Once it's done, it'll settle out, but it's a nice emulsification so far. Let's unscrew that, check for viscosity, looking good. And the taste. Time to assemble our salad. I'm using triple washed spinach here, but you certainly can use arugula, mesclun, frisee, anything with some flavor to it, not iceberg. 2 big handfuls there before we replace our cutting board, and cut down the cheeks of our nectarine peel for the pit, and then slice down, then make thin slices across. We'll add a nice sweetness to the salad. Meanwhile, toast a 1/4 cup of whole almonds in a dry skillet for about 10 minutes, shaking the pan constantly. Time to assemble and arrange. Take our spinach and nectarines, toss with our toasted almonds and feta cheese for a little salty brininess. It's about a 1/4 cup or so. Add a little pepper medley to taste before dressing. A pro tip, as always, go around the bowl with it because you're going to draw in the vinaigrette when you toss the salad. After you're done tossing the salad, grab a nice platter and arrange it prettily. Another way to beat the heat, guys, some cold brew coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, same name as you eat it, and Facebook, same name as you eat it. And remember, cook how you want to cook, eat how you want to eat, stay cool how you want to stay cool, eat as you eat it. I'll see you next week. Cheers.